How is police reasonable force legally defined? Imagine you're walking down the street when a police officer approaches you. You might wonder, what kind of force can they use if things get tense? Well, the law has clear rules about this. Police reasonable force is the amount and type of force that an officer is justified in using based on what's happening at that exact moment. It's not about what could have been done later, but what was appropriate right then. The key idea here is objective reasonableness. That means the force used has to be what a typical officer would do in the same situation, not based on personal feelings or motivations. It's judged from the perspective of a reasonable officer on the scene, looking at what they knew at the time. So, if an officer sees a person resisting arrest, they can escalate their response, but only to what's necessary to control the situation. Another important part is necessity and proportionality. The force must be needed to handle the threat or resistance. If someone is just talking loudly but not resisting, minimal or no force should be used. But if a person is actively fighting or trying to run away, an officer can use more force, but only enough to stop the threat. Using too much force, like hitting someone who isn't resisting, is considered unlawful. Courts also look at other factors when deciding if the force was reasonable. These include how serious the crime was, how dangerous the person was, and whether they posed an immediate threat to officers or others. They also consider if the person could escape, how much time the officer had to make decisions, and if there were other options available. The physical size, strength, or mental state of the person involved can also influence what's considered reasonable. Officers often have to make quick decisions in unpredictable situations. The law understands this and doesn't judge them with perfect hindsight. Instead, it looks at what the officer saw and knew at that moment. This approach was established by a Supreme Court case called Graham versus Connor, which set the standard for how police use of force is evaluated under the Fourth Amendment. In real life, if a suspect is not resisting or threatening, police should use little or no force. But if someone is fighting back or trying to harm others, officers can escalate their response, but only as much as needed. Understanding this legal definition helps us see how police actions are judged and why some uses of force are considered lawful while others are not. It's a balance between keeping everyone safe and respecting individual rights.